Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be installing our fuel pump on the 03 Wrx. It's gonna be the DEA 9301. Just tell you guys the part number in case you want to do it yourself. I'm gonna be going step by step on the process to install it, which is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But if you guys need any help, comment, I'll be sure to reply. Okay, so this is the fuel pump piece back together with the aftermarket fuel pump, of course. Right now we're gonna pretty much take the old one off, which you have to do by removing this cover and then this styrofoam cover at the bottom. Oh, there goes that. Look how fragile this is. I didn't want to remove the whole thing, but here we are. And pretty much your fuel pump, it's gonna be right here under this metal cover. And I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and I'll be right back. Okay, and then like I said, we're taking this piece off. It's gonna be held by Ford Phillips. So there's one. I've previously taken out the fuel pump in this car before, just to test out, seeing if the original fuel pump was suffering some inconsistencies, and it turns out it was, because there wasn't enough fuel pressure on it. So now the DW fuel pump arrived, we can go ahead and swap that out. Okay, so we basically take that off and then just pop it right off, and it's gonna be exactly right here. And it's held by what looks like 8 bolts. They're gonna be 8mm bolts, and then pretty much have to disconnect, take the connector off, pop these 2 hoses off, and then go ahead and pop it off. I'm not gonna take the fuse off, which you guys can do, of course, if your fuel pump is still good, because by taking that hose off, it's gonna shoot a lot of gas. So make sure you guys pretty much take the fuse or the relay off and run the car to decrease the fuel pressure. But since my fuel pump is not pumping what it's supposed to be pumping, basically, I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna take all this off right now, and I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Okay, so this additional clip is pretty much telling you how to do it exactly, because I know some people might get confused. So basically, you pop out this connector, which is pretty much the connector for the whole fuel pump. Popping that out, you go ahead and take these 2 hoses off. This, and like that. Make sure they're completely off, and then you go ahead and remove this one. This one's the fucking fuel squirter one that I was just talking about. I forgot to bring a screwdriver with me, but as you can see, mine doesn't shoot out gasoline, because like I said, my fuel pump is not working properly, and I just pretty much screwed up my nail. So guys, be careful with that. Okay, so right now we're gonna take this hose off. Yeah, make sure you give them like a little whirl, because these old hoses are known for, yeah, they can be hella tricky. See? So that's one of them out. I just need to get the other one off, and then we'll, you know, the bolt process is pretty straightforward. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and I'll come back to you with the next step. Okay, and the pump is out now. Well, not necessarily fully out, but it's getting there. Okay, take that make sure not to damage the strainer or anything. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds so it rinses out all the fuel, so you don't take excess fuel in the pump when you're removing and it makes a huge mess. Okay, so pretty much this is how the standard pump comes. You know, you can see how old mine is because it's strainer, but pretty much you take both of these out, you pop the plastic off right here and take the connector off, and the pump should just slide off. And same thing with the new one, just put the hose, put the pump, put the plastic back in, plug it back in, and then ready to drop it. Pretty straightforward. And now pretty much it's the same operation but backwards. Just gotta drop it, then make sure it centers from every direction. So like that, you can just slide it. As you can see, I'm having a difficult time because the gasket keeps on moving, but it's pretty much the same thing. Like that. So start going back with the basics, which is putting the connector, hooking up the hoses, and you're pretty much done at this point already. Just gotta bolt it back up. Nothing really extra about it. And I'm probably gonna, I just realized I'm gonna have to take it off again so I could put that bracket on top how it has to go, or else you know how fuel pumps are, they're probably gonna be leaking them and get a code for EVAP or something like that, which means I have to hold it back. I'm gonna go get a screwdriver or something and I'll be right back. Actually, it might not be necessary. That's the way I'm putting this back on. I don't think I'll need a screwdriver or anything to hold it back together. If anything, the only thing I'm gonna need to do, which is gonna be with my drill bit, is push this little hose to the back a little more. Yep, like that, so the pump can actually sit the right way. And now that it's sat the right way, just pretty much go ahead and put the bolts back on and tighten everything up. As simple as that. Not really much to it at this point. You pretty much go in reverse operation of what you did in the beginning, so should be very simple. I forgot to mention this, but before you take it off, make sure that it's clean. The pump is clean. Mine had a lot of dirt on it. Right now, it's pretty much clean, but dirt and grime will accumulate here as it's basically under the car. So make sure none of that stuff goes in your tank, because at that point, you're not doing anything good towards the pump. It's just gonna be a matter of time before the same thing that happened to your original pump happens to this one, so make sure you do it. And yeah, I'm gonna finish putting the pump together and I'll be right back with a startup video. Okay, install the pump. Let's cycle the pump a couple times. Okay. Oh.
System.
No, that's just my turbo timer.
Testing.
Okay. And one more time.
Testing.
That ensures there's fuel already. So let's.
System ready.